The main point, I guess, would be that innovation is not straightforward, nor is it anything other than a nominalization unless you put something concrete into it. So actually doing things is innovation, and there's too much talking about it, and, if you like, frameworks for it, when in fact adaptation is the largest behavioral component. For HR, that's a really good question, because the issue with HR is that HR tends to beget HR. So what you find is that recruitment into HR and development within HR is very HR-centric. So there isn't necessarily looking outside HR for novelty, for innovation, for new ways to do things. Well, the most surprising thing was I used examples of people and things which I thought were, might be in mainstream, Edward Deeming, for example, and total quality. And I was a little surprised that so few people had heard of them. And that perhaps is indicative of what I said earlier around HR. Is it perhaps a little insular? The recurring issue, I think, still is strategic credibility. So there's been a lot of movement away from operations in terms of helping HR to create space for business partnering and similar moves, but that hasn't yet borne full fruit. I still feel organizations don't invite HR to the top table around people issues. And my challenge to HR would be to be more challenging in that area, be more demanding of directors. There's a model in our report of challenge and support. That's our management agenda report. The challenge thing is, do managers feel that there is enough to do? In other words, do they feel as if the problems they're wrestling with are worthwhile? And the support is, do they feel they have the resources and the emotional support and recognition to feel as if they're doing a good job? So those two things need to be more discerningly identified as aspects of recruitment and sold to people as being the requirements of the job.